We'll see how it turns out.
Uranus Wars aren't actually that bad. I kind of enjoy them actually. They're probably one of the better matchups to watch because both are going to be very aggressive and a lot of army fights. Plus, obviously, they both have shockwaves. So what you will usually see when you have like Uranus against something such as Poseidon, you will usually see the Poseidon cower in his base because he doesn't want to play against Shockwave, and it won't be very exciting. And Uranus is basically going to attack, Poseidon is going to defend, maybe some raids here and there. But generally, that's going to be pretty boring. But if you have Uranus against Uranus, that's actually much better because both players can move out as they are the same civilization. So they both have Shockwave, they both have like Terma, etc. So it's not that bad really.
That's right, and you know what they say? They say the only way to beat Aranos is to beat Aranos. But let me just describe the players in the matchup here real quick. At the bottom of the map we have a blue ArmyCore. He is playing Aranos, of course. This is Aranos Mir, and so at the top of the map we have red. I am Avely. The map is indeed Marsh. So essentially we're going to be seeing classical warfare raids, and really the bottom line, whoever does the better raid will come up on top. Is that how it works out?
Yeah, pretty much. What's actually very important in this matchup is unit splitting. I actually noticed this when I was playing against the Mista in Uranus Wars, when I was preparing with the Mista for his game against ArmyCore. And unit splitting is really a big deal. Like, you can't just ball all of your army in one big ball and then just go to a place or have like two balls. You really need like multiple groups that need to be active. You really need to split up the opponent's army. It's actually very important. You need to multitask really well, and whichever player does that best will typically win the game. That's usually how it goes. Obviously, like it's not set in stone, but that's typically how it goes. Yes.
Now, of course, Marsh is a relic heavy map. I believe it's 4 relics that's on this map. So I
Yes.
think in a mirror like this, in a matchup so tight, I think the relics can really make a big difference here.
Oh yeah, totally. Obviously, some relics better than others, but in general, yeah, relics can make a large advantage.
I
Can
haven't
make or
seen
break a
any good
game.
ones yet, but
No, it's not really any
you
good
would
ones.
think so, right? Because this match is really, really tight. They're both fighting for the 3rd place, and they're both playing Aranos. And so,
Death of Dionysus is actually a really good relic, but not in this matchup, obviously. It's actually the most useless relic in this matchup.
oh, you think so?
I don't think there's anything worse than the Staff of Dionysus because it literally doesn't do anything. So it's definitely the worst. Other relics can only be equally bad, unless there's someone which actually hurts you, but I don't think there is one.
Now, as much as people complain about Aranos mirrors, to be honest with you, I haven't watched too many Aranos mirrors because I don't watch them. I don't download them. But here, you know, we see an Aranos mirror, and I'm excited for it. You know, people would say, we'll be astounded to think that I'll be excited for something like this, but hey, you know, well, we see 3 oracles forward by ArmyCore. Clearly, it looks like he's going to be playing aggressive. Is that what it looks like to you?
Typically, players will use the Valor on Oracles. You see Sensei do this in Uranus Wars. I have seen ArmyCore use this every single time in Uranus Wars, so I don't doubt that ArmyCore is going to do the same thing. I don't know about Avely. I don't know Avely that well. I know the Mista in Uranus Wars doesn't actually Valor his Oracles, but ArmyCore pretty much always does that. He doesn't seem to be grouping up every single one of his Oracles right now, though. His Oracles are very spread out, so maybe he's not gonna do it, but I've seen him do it like almost every single game, so that's kind of surprising already. He seems to just be placing them on the edge of the screen. That's pretty interesting actually. So
Yeah, guys,
kind
for
of
everybody
update of
just
character.
jumping in the stream now, this is match 1, best out of 7 between ArmyCore and Avely here. very exciting. Of course, it is a Aranosmere, so we're definitely going to be expecting a lot of Termas. Do they make Prometheans here in Aranos Wars? A few of them, don't they?
Actually, what you typically do is you just auto-queue Prometheus in Oranos Wars, but both players aren't doing this, so maybe they know something I do not. They also have like no people on gold. They both have one villager on gold, from what I can see. Yeah, now ArmyCore just put his second villager on gold because he's mining from the other mine as well to the left. And Avely still has just one villager on gold. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. I've never seen people go very light on Prometheans in Oranos Wars, so that's pretty
A
surprising.
new meta, perhaps. I mean, I've said it before. I haven't watched many Aranos Wars as of late. It's gotta be at least a few years. We do see some scouting here by ArmyCore and try to harass Atlantean villager out here, deleting the Promethean so he gets the faster offspring. Avely didn't do that though. Looks like he's more on the defensive already. Avely already having a mix of Terma and Marmello, ready to do some damage.
Both players seem to be kind of taking a defensive stance, and honestly, I think trying to use the defender's advantage and trying to like react to raids and like trap the units and just garrison your villages quickly, I really think that's inferior in general when it's raiding against raiding. I just don't think you can really use a defender's advantage, if you will. I think that's more of an attacker's advantage in that situation. Because right now, if you look at Avely's army, you can see that it's positioned at his hunt, but everything is at his hunt. So in this situation, if ArmyCore would have sent like 3 units to the right where he is hunting the water buffaloes with his 2 villagers, or like all the way to the top where he's gathering wood, then he could have interrupted the gathering time of those citizens without much effort, and he could run away as well, because there's not really any risk to it. If Avely reacts to it and tries to attack the units that are raiding him, then those units can just run away. Like there's just the risk reward is totally
really,
out of proportion.
That's what it comes down to. It's all about harassing the villagers and the economy. The formula is who can raid better and who can boom better. Oranos is a really simple, basic civilization to play. It's more about micro than macro, of course. That's the focus. And so that's why we're going to be expecting raids from all over the place, as we already see now, by ArmyCore pushing his villagers off the water buffalo. But you do agree that the formula is really just about who gets the step ahead in terms of economy, and who's gathering resources more and not getting harassed as much. Because right now Avely is the one who's playing defensively, and you can see already that he's behind almost a couple hundred points.
Yeah, that's true.
Because ArmyCore is playing aggressive.
You can see that he actually has a farm already. That doesn't make much sense to me. It makes more sense to research husbandry and then just go on the pigs. He's not doing that.
Now, it does seem like Avely has the bigger army here.
Yeah, so in this situation there is a defender's advantage, because your production buildings are much closer to you, so you can reinforce much quicker.
Yeah, and Avely is full popped right now. He does have all 5 manners, I do believe. It's quite an interesting battle here. So, if the heroes are useless here, and they're not making Promethean, why do they age up as Prometheus? I mean, you would think that Oranos has to age out with Prometheus 100% of the time, but if you're not using heroes, Veiler is no use to you, and Promethean is no use to you. What do you think? Wouldn't the other choice be a better bet? Because
Uh,
Heroes is absolutely no use here.
well,
He's
yeah, but
right.
you need to be careful with your reasoning because you cannot assume that you can simply change one factor early on and have the game turn out exactly the same way. Like, obviously, if he wouldn't have gone Prometheus, then obviously Avely would have made more Prometheans. I mean, that's like you can just take the current state of the game and change one factor and assume that all the other factors stay the same. But yes, in theory, if both players are not making any Prometheans, and they won't, then you're probably better off with the other god, Oceanus.
That's what I was thinking because they're not using anything to do with Prometheus. But you did bring up a good point. If one of them did not go Prometheus, obviously not having Valor, then the other fella there would end up just making a bunch of myth units.
Yeah, that's what I think as well.
All right, so Avely looks like you'd think that he's in trouble, but I think he's okay because Avely's on 2 TC now, making citizens from double town center. However, he's got one idle town center there. Not enough food production.
I don't know if ArmyCore can like really threaten the town center because obviously that's what it's gonna boil down to. Or actually, no, I just said something incorrect because it's gonna boil down to the gold. Like, can he deny the gold? Obviously, because what I was thinking is if ArmyCore cannot really push the town centers, then Avely is gonna be okay. But ArmyCore can push the gold, so that's definitely a problem. So Avely isn't really looking that hot. But if he can find a way to secure his gold, then he will be fine because obviously he has 2 town centers.
Yeah, and I don't think that second TC was very smart from Avely. The strategy from Avely would be to try to outboom ArmyCore, but you can't really outboom ArmyCore if you're not going to be able to gather any gold. He's just going to end up getting gold starved here because that gold mine is just about out, and then where is he going to go if ArmyCore's got the bigger army here?
Oh, ArmyCore has Taya. I think he's gonna make some birds now.
And that's quite impressive to be heroic already. And
yeah, I totally agree.
And to making this much damage. Because I don't think Avely's anywhere near heroic age. He just barely has enough food to make citizens.
I think he's going for the finish because the forward has Petty Destiny. That definitely tells you that he wants to kill him.
I don't see the Hesperides tree. Oh, there it is. I see it. Yeah.
It's very, very forward.
Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't seen a Hesperides tree placed that forward before.
Yeah, he really wants to end the game now, I think.
Well, Avely has the Hesperides tree now. Okay, just switched. Is ArmyCore able to finish it here? Because it looks like...
I think he is.
Because Avely...
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, and there it is. Good game.
GG.
Very well done by ArmyCore. I don't think
Yeah.
the second TC was very smart from Avely. He should have secured a gold mine before he done so.
Yeah, it's kind of dangerous, like going for a second town center and kind of cutting back on your army.
Alright, so let's go out to Avely now. And that was game 1, everyone. And we are just getting ready for game 2. If you guys have any questions, I am reading the chat, so be sure to ask whatever's on your mind. I'll do my best to answer.
I was just discussing the game with someone else, and he agreed that it was not the best strategy of Nagy.
I'm I'm really trying to think here because I saw Avely playing
Can you clean up, by the way?
consistent. I saw Avely playing consistent ISIS in the previous stage, and now it's just full Aranos. I think he's convinced that he needs to be Aranos in these matches versus ArmyCore. Okay, now for the match details. At the bottom of the map, we have blue, ArmyCore. It is Oasis. And at the top of the map, we have Avely in red, also playing Aranos in an Aranos mirror for match 2. ArmyCore taking it 1-0 already. So it looks like only Avely is going for that economic guild. Okay, there he goes. ArmyCore just building it now. Scouting his zebra as well. Anything different here, Lorenzo?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by ArmyCore building the economy guild so late, because he started with that hunt in his line of sight. Like, he didn't need to scout it or anything. I know an oracle walked past, but maybe he didn't know that there were 5 zebras. Maybe he thought it was like 2 zebras because there were 2 in the line of sight, or 3 zebras. And going economic guild against that is not the greatest thing. But I think he just checked, and then he saw the 5 zebras, and then he made the economic guild. So that's what I think that happened. As for the game itself, well, I mean, we are 1 minute in, so there's not much to see yet. I actually thought both players were going to go for a 4 minute advance, but Avely with the slightly delayed economic guild, and ArmyCore with the a little bit more delayed economic guild. So I think they are both going to go for a 4:30 again.
Interesting. And now Avely, keep in mind, has a much better gold mine than ArmyCore does. ArmyCore's gold mine is rather forward and unprotected by any towers. So that's going to be tough.
Yeah, ArmyCore's gold mine is much worse than Avely's gold mine.
And of course, we see some giraffes here for ArmyCore. So it looks like the amount of hunt on this map is quite decent.
I'm actually wondering where Avely's giraffes are, because ArmyCore has really nice second hunting spots. Like, it's right there. He could even make like a small wall in the middle for additional security, and then he can hunt those giraffes pretty freely. Like, there's nothing really stopping him from hunting those giraffes. But I haven't seen Avely's spot yet, because Avely also needs to have a spot of at least 2 giraffes. Actually, I see them. They're at the top. There's 1 giraffe, and there's going to be at least one more in the fog.
Yeah, I see them.
That's not really fair, but 1, 2.
Now, speaking of the relics are actually quite nice here. So we see right in the center of the map, there's a infantry build time quicker by 15%. That can really make or break the game. 15% is quite a big issue when you put it down to that both players are just making Marmillo and Terma. And to have that extra 4 or 5 Marmillo 12, 13 minutes in the game from a single Rex, can make a big difference. It could also save you wood for a second Rex. Both players just aging up.
ArmyCore is a little bit later to Classical.
Town centers seem to be very nice for both players, very defensive. Usually when we see town center placements like this, so close to each other and back, you can really relate to a game that's going to last for a while. Both players are going to be more on the defensive stance later in the game, because these players are not fighting for town centers. If anything, they're going to try to gold starve each other. But other than that,
Avely's wood is pretty trollolol actually.
Wow, Avely's got 2 villagers inside the tower garrisoned, and they were there for I don't know how long, but
Actually, coming to think of it, this map really favors ArmyCore because he has the 2 extra giraffes, plus he has the better wood spots. If you look at the wood spots, you see 1, 2, 3, basically 3 very accessible wood spots, plus the one in the middle. Whereas Avely has 0 easily accessible wood spots. He only has the one in the middle and the one on the far right in the corner.
that's true. But at the same time, I don't know how much that matters, because when you put it down to perspective, you got these mainers as Atlanteans. And you can just pop in, pop out. But I agree. Preferably, it would be nicer. ArmyCore has got a nicer position, um, but it wouldn't have mattered as much as if you were playing a different civilization. Since he's playing Atlantean as well, he can just build a mainer next to a wood line, and it wouldn't be all that bad.
I think you pronounce it as Manor, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm like 99.999% certain you pronounce it as Manor.
All right then. We'll call it manor. So we see Avely attempting to scout here.
Oh, this is interesting. At the bottom, Gallic, is
His
he gonna get it?
offspring.
Oh, that's
Ouch,
kind of
he just stole
too
it.
bad.
And very
Yeah,
good
because
micro there by ArmyCore, dodging the arrows. Otherwise, that Terma would have been a goner.
yeah, that wasn't actually that well done by Avely. He should have picked up the relic, but instead he was just trying to attack the Terma, the hero Terma, and that wasn't the way to go. He should have just picked up the relic.
Yeah, and these relics going to make a big difference here, especially in a mirror matchup like this one. So we got you got a 0.30 gold consistent flow. That's equal to a third of a citizen on gold consistently. And of course, what else do we got here? And you can't miss the second relic that he's got, the infantry built faster.
Yeah, he has the 2 relics.
Yeah.
Relics also count to our score, so his score is a little bit inflated because of the relics.
That's true.
In reality, it's a little bit even. However, those 2 relics, they are quite nice. The Ring of the Nibelung, obviously pretty decent. And you have the Canopic Jar of Imsati, also pretty decent. As you mentioned at the start, really makes those Murmillos train faster.
I don't think this is a good battle here for ArmyCore whatsoever. ArmyCore is fighting with some Ramillo and Terma next to his production buildings here. I don't think it's the smartest idea, because those Marmillo is just going to end up getting picked off by him.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest thing. I don't think it was that bad though. I mean, he killed
I
quite a few
think so. I think so, because at this point he's just losing all these units, especially this early, around 8 minutes. I mean, at the battle when he first fought it was decent, but then he's fighting next to production buildings. You know, not the best idea.
Yeah, he lost 3 units more actually in total.
ArmyCore did.
That is.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's
he lost
also
3
got
units more.
a very low health Marmillo hero there at 11 HP. There's a
Oh, that's
shockwave.
not that great of a shockwave actually.
Yeah, it only took 4 Marmillo and held them back.
Oh, and it's matched by an even worse shockwave from Avely.
Well, he had to use a shockwave sooner or later, because he didn't want to lose those Terma that he had there. But we do see some more Prometheans being made by ArmyCore this game. However, Avely is not doesn't want to make any extra. Avely attempting to fight with his villagers here. He does have one low health citizen. I don't think he'll lose any citizens.
No, he's pretty good at microing them back.
But Avely should be really careful. I mean, at this point, he's just lost way too many units.
He also lost mining time. Let's not forget that. Like, even though he doesn't lose any citizens, he did lose mining time.
Gathering, I agree, yeah. He should really put the low health citizens. He's got 3 low health villagers there. He should put them on a farm or on sheep or something like that, so they don't get picked off. I would even make a farm. I mean, really, what else are you going to do with those citizens? And Avely just going to call it a good game already. Very short, straight to the point game. Avely, you know what?
He ran out of wood, actually.
And you know what, Lorenzo? You were right about that wood line. It seemed to make all the difference here. ArmyCore was able to take advantage of it. I mean, if I was Avely, wouldn't you at least build a manor next to a wood line here and perhaps make a small wall towards this tower back here? I mean, if he spent...
Giraffes. He's also complaining about the giraffes. Yeah,
that's true. His giraffes was a little far out there. Alrighty, so that was game 2, everyone. ArmyCore taking it 2-0. This is 3rd place match. And I'll just show everybody what the brackets look like. I'll show you guys quickly what the brackets look like here, so you get a better viewpoint of what's been going on. I think they should be... Where are they? Okay, they should be here. Okay guys, I'm just going to bring out the bracket for you so you can see it, if I find it. I guess I can't find it. Where did it go? That's quite odd. Okay, well, in the previous stage, Avely lost to Ghost Lake. Ghost Lake is now in the finals, who will play Demista. And we're on to game number 3.
Do you think he's going to go for Oranos again a 3rd time, or do you think he's going to play something else?
You know what? Personally, if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't pick Oranos again. It's not the best idea. I mean, hey, he's tried Oranos for the first 2 matches. It's a best out of 7, so he's got those chances. But
nope, straight up Oranos again.
I'm not sure why he feels confident with Oranos.
Is this a best out of 5, by the way?
It's best out of 7.
Alright, so at least 4 games.
Okay guys, game number 3. On Watering Hole at the bottom of the map, we have ArmyCore playing Oranos again. And of course, at the top of the map, we have another Oranos player. I am Avely. He's not an Oranos player, he's just playing Oranos. He's more of an ISIS player. So both players starting with Economic Guild. And looks like they both found their hunt. We can hear your typing there, Lorenzo. It's very loud.
Yeah, I have a mechanical keyboard.
Okay, so as we both know it, this is Watering Hole, and just by looking at the map here for ArmyCore, he's got a nice large gold mine in the back of his town center. That's really, really helpful. And I would already put the map in his favor. Although Avely does have does have a large gold mine, but it's a bit further than ArmyCore's gold mine here.
Yeah, it's a bit worse, but I don't think it's that problematic. Like it's still behind his second town center, so like it's not that big of a deal. I don't think it's gonna play that much of a difference. But yeah, technically, ArmyCore's second gold mine is much better. His second gold mine is actually closer than his first gold mine, his starting gold mine. It's pretty funny.
Now, I'm not sure. Why do you think he feels so confident with Aranos? Do you think perhaps he might pull off something different here that he wasn't able to in the previous matches?
I don't think he feels confident with Oranos. I think he feels unconfident with ISIS. So that's why he resorts to Oranos. But I do not think he feels particularly confident with Oranos either. It's a lot of lions in the middle. Whoa, look at that.
Yeah,
6 lions.
that is a line extravaganza. That is a huge amount of lines. I don't know how any villager is going to take that town center to the right there. You would have to go walk around all these lines. Imagine taking this town center, you got 5 lions chasing after you.
Especially those slow Atlantic villages. Oh, wow,
Unbelievable.
that's a lot of pigs. Did he just get those from the same spot? There's no way. Like five pigs? Really?
I think they started with those pigs because Avely's got some pigs of his own as well. So that's 6 total pigs for ArmyCore and 4 for Avely.
No, it's more actually. ArmyCore has
7.
7. Because he was scouted with one of them.
I'm amazed at this map because, number one, you can't gold starve, as far as I know, because you can't gold starve early on anyway, because look how close ArmyCore's gold mine is, and so is Avely's. Okay, the hunt. There's a huge amount of hunt on both players' maps, right? Because we see here on Avely's map, we see some hippos there on his side, second TC, and his zebra towards the left. But those zebras are quite a ways. Rather unfortunate for Avely.
Actually, something I would have done, and you may think this is insane, and it may very well be insane, is I would have gone to Town Center Archaic as Avely, actually. And I would have upped at 5 minutes and 40 seconds. That's when I would have been classical, because the town center guards all of his hunt, and he has a really nice gold mine. Plus, ArmyCore hasn't been valoring his oracles in the previous 2 games, so you can make an assumption and say that he's not gonna do it on this map either. And then you can easily go to 2TC Archaic on this map, and you will have a vastly superior economy. Plus, you do not really need to pick any fights. And if you look at this wood line next to Avely's temple, you will see that it's actually like a natural wall together with the water, and then obviously the town center will prevent any movement. So then he can easily hunt all of those hippos plus the rhinoceros, and he automatically secures his second gold mine. That's what I would have done. But it's still risky. It's not entirely risk-free, but I would have taken that risk in his position.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I agree with you. That second town center, I feel, could have been a viable option for Avely. And even ArmyCore if he wanted. Because he's got to protect the gold mine behind his first TC. And of course, that second TC for ArmyCore would have protected those zebras for him too. So, I think it would have been viable for both players at hand.
Yeah, actually, coming to think of it, ArmyCore could have done the exact same thing that I just described, which I would have done if I was Avely. So yeah.
So
well, as ArmyCore, there's no real reason. Well, I just want to do as they would say, do a 360. Obviously, if you do a 360, you end up at the same point, but that's what everyone says. I want to do a 360 on that comment and say that it's actually more viable for ArmyCore to do that because he's already 2 games up. So why not play greedy and do an exuberant strategy, if you will, like grabbing a second town center in Archaic, especially on this map. Seems
Sure.
like a good idea.
And if it works out for him early game, it's going to ensure him the game later on.
Yep, and if he loses, he's already up 2-0, you know? So
Right.
I definitely would have done it as ArmyCore, and I also would have done it as Avely. So I'm kind of surprised that both players don't do it. Obviously, if one of them follows their oracles and starts harassing you, you can't do anything against that. That's not entirely GG, but it's more or less GG. And actually, scouting a very nice relic here, like just behind his town center. The Thundercloud Shoal that will really help in those thermal wars.
Yeah, that's really nice. So now that he's got the cheaper myth unit relic, I would think that he would start making Prometheans.
Yeah, actually on this map is pretty big. I don't think I would be making Prometheans. But I mean, if the relic is there, why not get it, you know? Even if you're not going to use it immediately. They may still help out later when you're in the heroic age and you have the Asperities 3 and you're going to make the Dryads. Then obviously those Dryads will be cheaper as well. So, you know, why not get it? Why not?
Tell us more about those Mythic Age myth units. Would they be more viable with that relic there?
What each myth units are you talking about exactly?
The myth units available for the Uranus player and Mythic Age, for both minor gods.
Which one, the Lampardes or the Hecka Gigantes?
Both of them. Do you think they'll be more viable?
I think Hecka Gigantes are or so that's also why people go Hecka. Also, the Mythic Rejuvenation, very nice for the Titan, obviously. Then you have the Celerity upgrade, which increases the training time of myth units. So if you're making Dryads, like that's a substantial boost in training time. And it's only 10 favor, I think. It's 10 favor and a bit of gold.
Now, I think this town center will go up. Because ArmyCore just does not have a sufficient army to deal with Avely's mass here, especially since Avely's got production facility right next door. Although I would expect some more micro with those Terma running from those Marmillo of ArmyCores.
Those villages from ArmyCore near a second town center have been idle for quite a while now. I've been watching them for at least 30 seconds. So that's a lot of idle time, by the way, because that's 4 villages and one of them is hero. He finally moves them, but those have been idle for a long time. And now they have to walk all the way to the hippos. So that's gonna be some idle time as well, if you will, because they're not really doing anything.
Well, it does look like Avely. I would put the advantage right now in Avely because, of course, he's got the second TC at this point, and I think the kill-loss ratio is also in Avely's favor.
Actually, it is.
In that battle, it sure was, though.
Yes, but overall, ArmyCore has killed 2 more units.
Okay.
Also, ArmyCore has much better upgrades. Avely only has hunting dogs, ArmyCore has everything, except obviously Bosa and Shaft Mine, which are the classical economy upgrades.
Notice ArmyCore's got husbandry, and what's the deal with that?
Husbandry is basically hunting dogs, but for herdables. It also increases the gathering rate for herdables.
But husbandry as Atlantean?
Capacity. it's mostly known for its carry capacity, but it also increases the gathering rate of herdables. So that's why it's gonna getting it, so you can gather from those pigs much quicker.
And they also fatten quicker.
Yes, they also fatten quicker.
So Avely seems like he's doing a decent job at picking off some units here, harassing those villagers. But then again, that gold mine there for ArmyCore is just absolutely phenomenal. But he should still be careful. ArmyCore just losing a few Marmello down here. And what did he destroy up at the top? Did he just delete a barracks? I didn't see it.
No, I don't think he did.
And so ArmyCore just hitting Heroic Age and building a palace.
He's going for the forward Dryad again, so he really wants to finish Avely. This is kind of like the first game, actually. If you remember the March game that was played just prior before the game.
The strategy, sure, it's very similar, but I think Avely is in a much better position than game one. As for this game here, he's got a protected gold mine, protected wood line, because of course they're behind two town centers. Now,
Goliaths actually have an insane line of sight. Have you noticed that?
Which one, sorry?
Goliaths have an insane line of sight. Like it's really high.
No, I didn't notice that. And he's also making the Dryads for only 135 gold. And Avely just researching Masons now. Will he make it in time? Ouch. Ouch.
No, it's not
70,
time.
80.
No, it's not. Oh, that's too bad, really.
That's unfortunate. But he
if
did
you
have...
got that Masons upgrade, that may have actually changed a lot, because it also gives you hack armor.
Right. And it gives it hit points too.
Hit points, hack armor, and crush armor. Whereas Architect only gives hit points and crush armor. But Masons gives hack armor as well. Not many people know that.
Look how many citizens he's dragging with his army. Okay, Avely is in Heroic Age now. So obviously ArmyCore knows this matchup like the back of his hand. In other words, pretty darn well. I mean, his main civilization is Aranos. And Avely being an ISIS player, it's quite hard to deal with Aranos. Annoying, rather. Avely making those more expensive Dryads, 150 gold apiece, whereas ArmyCores only have to spend 135 gold. Those birds coming in handy for Avely. I don't see any birds by ArmyCore.
Yeah, he's not making that currently.
Notice how Avely is raiding some villages on the hippo there at the bottom of the map.
Yeah, I just want to point out those raids from Avely have been really nice. Like the raids on his gold mine, on his second gold mine, even though that gold mine was really well protected, it still did quite a bit of damage. And right now these Stoma are also dealing a lot of damage actually.
Yeah, I haven't been focusing much down at this side of the map, but yeah, apparently Avely's been doing a phenomenal job at harassing ArmyCore's villagers. As we can tell right here by the score, Avely seems like he's ahead economy-wise. And of course, Avely's got quite a few farms. That's really crazy.
He also has the triple bird.
He has the triple what, sorry?
The triple bird.
Oh, the three birds, yeah. They're very helpful.
Yes. Plus he managed to secure his gold mine once again. That's obviously a huge boon. Actually, what I don't see people do enough is getting the mining upgrades when they are being gold staffed. Because usually when you're being gold staffed, your villages will be on food and on wood. Because those are the resources available to you, and it's better to gather something than just leaving them idle if you can't gather any gold. So there's really no reason to not get the mining upgrades when you're being gold staffed.
Avely is really ahead here, killing ArmyCore in economy. Take a look at that 400, 500 score lead. And that's because ArmyCore has been on 1 TC for so long, while Avely was able to pump out those extra 5 to 10 citizens. Almost a 6-7 citizen lead here. And that's huge. And that's around 20 villagers. 20 villagers ahead. And of course, we're just waiting here for ArmyCore to make his move.
No, he's waiting until Mythic. He's almost Mythic.
And there it is. Hecate going to age up with that Tartarian Gate there. And it's more likely going to be placed maybe on the temple, I think. Because the Hesperides tree won't allow him to place it on the
there we go. You are correct.
Those Lampades do a very good job versus Terma. I think because Lampades is a mythic unit, mythic age unit, and they're rather cheap, 225 gold. Saving 10%. Would you be making any?
Any Lampades?
Yes.
No, I wouldn't. I think they are a waste of favor. I would rather make more birds.
Okay, so clearly we see ArmyCore already making the push after taking that town center there. And no wonder his score was behind. I didn't see that he was aging to the mythic age at the time. But his score was behind because his resources were being spent on that. Avely, almost mythic as well.
And going to place the Tartarian Gate, and seeing as he has no army there, and then I'm talking about ArmyCore, that Tartarian Gate may do a lot of damage, but will it be enough? Because his base is currently under siege. Like, this is not a good situation for Avely at the moment in his base, but I wonder if the Tartarian Gate can kind of equalize that.
And there's a Tartarian Gate down here, being placed right between ArmyCore's two town centers. Is Avely able to hold off ArmyCore's push up here? It looks like
Tartarian Gate's gonna be really annoying, but like, look at his main base. He needs to deal with that as well. You can't just...
Yeah, he definitely needs to deal with that Tartarian Gate. I mean, if you think about it, that Tartarian Gate is just going to absolutely annihilate the two town centers, the manor, the market. I'm not sure what ArmyCore's his thinking here is, just to wipe out Avely and then finish the game from there, or perhaps you know, maybe he could go back to his base and deal with it first. What would you do if you were in his shoes?
If I were in ArmyCore's shoes, I would ignore the Tartarian Gate and just push, which is what he's doing right now.
Oh, although, to keep in mind, he did lose a TC already from that Tartarian Gate. Very annoying. And Avely re-signing, calling it good game.
Yeah, that's just too bad. That's too bad that he couldn't hold off that push.
Yeah, I mean, if he was able to handle this push, this initial 20 unit army, then he'd be able to at least come back, because if you think about it, our ArmyCore is sitting on 1 TC, about to lose his other town center, and that Tartarian spawn is absolutely just annihilating. Pretty much destroying market, manor, and pushing him off gold. A very nice spot for that Tartarian Gate, there's no doubt, but it just wasn't enough. So guys, we are on to game number 4 from a best out of 7. ArmyCore absolutely dominating. It's 3-0 so far. So we are just about to start up game number 4 here, shortly. Okay, great. So I sent a message over to ArmyCore, and I asked him to try something different to make it, a little more unique, something more exciting, surprising. So we could definitely be expecting anything here. Perhaps, not your
Maybe ArmyCore's definition of more interesting and more surprising is, instead of doing 2 counter barracks and 1 barrack, doing like 2 barracks and 1 counter barracks.
I don't think so. I think he'll mix it up a little bit. So here at the bottom of the map, fellas, we have ArmyCore playing Aranos in blue, and of course at the top of the map here on Tundra we have Avely in red. Now of course this is another Aranosmere, and I've mentioned every other map. Aranos is, I'd say, the better civilization here to beat in another Aranosmere, resulting in an Aranosmere, of course, is what we have right now. For the 4th time in a row, ArmyCore taking the lead already, 3-0. So we see a very forward gold mine. Just talking about the map now, we see a very forward gold mine for Avely, and not so bad for ArmyCore. The gold mine is protected by 2 towers, as we can see here. What else can we tell about the map? Do you think we could be seeing anything relevant to it? Any 2 town center, or just the Terma startup as usual?
I doubt you're going to see 2 town centers on Tundra. By the way, that Oasis map where Avely had almost no wood, does that classify as a map imbalance? Because the Mista just told me that it's, according to the rules, it fits the map's criteria and should be remade.
Well, it's a bit complicated because the way it works in the rules is that if you have a major bug screw, you can have the map reviewed by a staff member at hand, and he will review it to determine whether it was a valid restart or not. And if it was invalid, then it would, that match would be considered a loss for you. But usually we have no vetoes, no restarts, nothing. If you have a major bug, then you can save it and submit it for review. That's the bottom line. So on to the match here. Players should be advancing rather soon. And both players, of course, building their mainers next to the gold mine. Avely having his buildings rather forward. Do you think that's a smart idea to have the buildings forward, maybe just in front of the gold mine?
Yeah, well, what it does is it kind of creates a wall, as you can see, but obviously the trade-off is that walls are typically kind of open. They are open for attack. So it does make his buildings a little bit more, as I just said, open for attack. So you really have to ask yourself, is the wall up, if you will, is that really worth putting your buildings out in the open like that? And I don't think it is, but apparently Avely does think it is, because he just did it.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is considered a wall there, to better help him mine gold. I really don't know how Avely is going to come up on top here. He's already down 3-0.
ArmyCore's going Oceanus.
Okay, guys, so we have something very interesting here.
So we do actually have something radically different. Like I was thinking, like we would maybe do something that's like a very minute difference, but it's actually a very large difference. But you don't do this ever.
Where we see Oceanus by ArmyCore, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the first time we've seen anything like it so far in this series. After 3 Aranosmirs so far, Avely already aging up by Prometheus at 410 in building his
Prometheus. Oh wait, he just cancelled it. He queued up a Promethean and then he cancelled the Promethean.
And this is exciting. Avely already having 2 cracks. ArmyCore aging up just now with Oceanus, which gives him the carnivore god power. I think it's going to hit Avely's mind and say, hey, you know, I'm going to start making some Prometheans. If I were him, I would definitely make Prometheans, because ArmyCore does not have Valor. So to take advantage of that, that's the first thing you would do, isn't it? And there he is. He's
Yep.
queuing up Prometheans right now. Did he just use Valor on 1 Terma? Oh, 3 Terma. Alright.
Yeah, he used it on 3. He actually should have included a villager because he was using it mid-map anyway. Then you may as well include a villager, get that extra gathering time. Plus later on in the game, hero citizens actually do not count towards the villager cap, so you can go beyond 25 citizens.
Right. Well, there is some dispute about that because the hero citizens take up 1 extra population in return for just only more hit points, 5% gathering, and 5% building, which is very, very little. And when you put it in terms to late game, it's just not worth it. And you end up just deleting your hero citizens. We're talking about after 30 minutes.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess it's not really an advantage later on then to exceed the villager cap, but early on, like that one
early
extra
on, it's
population
nice.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's nothing more than nice. I think it's you know, if you can do it, I wouldn't go out of my way to do it, but if you can Valor and hero up that villager, go for it. So we get some raiding here by some Terma, attempting to just pick on a citizen, just bully him a little bit, not causing any damage there. And here we got the Terma coming back.
This is actually a berry tundra, not a goat tundra.
And keep in mind, everyone, ArmyCore is Oceanus here, so it's going to make it for a more interesting match, whereas he's got no heroes. Now, what would you be doing with that Carnivora that he's got there, or the Caladria? Sorry.
The very first thing I would do with it is group it on like 9 or 8, or a hotkey that you never use, because you're almost certainly gonna lose it later on in the game, and you're looking for it and you can't find it, or even just earlier in the game. At least I always have that problem. And you can actually use it to attract arrow fire, and then you can obviously dodge the arrows because you have a lot of movement speed. Caladria have 6.0 movement speed. That's enough to exceed the track rating of Terma. As you just saw, Terma fired at the Caladria and they didn't hit it.
Very, very smart. Yeah, I just saw 2 hits there. 2 hits by Avely and missing both times. Very smart by ArmyCore. I would even, if that's the case, and if he can dodge units that easily, I would perhaps even make another Caladria.
He has 2 out.
Oh, that's right. He's got another one next to his forward raiding party there. Terma just getting picked off, and now it looks like he's going to get blocked in here.
I actually really like Oceanus. It's just that the Valor is so important in fighting off myth units, not only from other Oranos players, but also from obviously other civilizations, such as Egyptian, Zeus, etc.
But putting it to perspective here, I really don't see any myth units being made from Avely.
Yeah, that's true. He does have a few out, but not that many.
ما بدك تيجي انت؟
Avely winning that quite substantial actually. 8 units killed for ArmyCore against 15 from Avely. That's almost double.
Sorry about that. Okay, so we still have the two Caladrias alive. And we have ArmyCore already behind almost 300 points Avely. 200 points. And ArmyCore is just not queuing citizens. He just does not have enough food. He's only got one villager on food at this time. Yeah, well, he does have a few more on hunt, but I'm not sure why he does not have enough food. Perhaps some Marmillos are taking up that queue time.
The plant's going down.
Yeah, and this is quite a nice battle that's going on here. That Carnivora seems to be, you know, really not all that bad. But the thing is, ArmyCore is having a hard time dealing with those Prometheans.
Yep, definitely. It's very hard to take them out. The Carnivora did absorb some shots from the Terma, but I don't think
Absolutely, check that
much.
out. Just missing every single arrow. Terma's not even able to touch it.
The way how the mechanic works, the thing that decides whether an arrow hits or not actually depends on the unit moving. So if a Caladria is stationary, but an arrow is fired at it, and then the Caladria starts moving, the arrows will still hit. Because at the moment the arrow is fired, it is determined whether it will hit or not. You can, there's nothing you can do to change that. So often you will see like a bunch of arrows hitting a Caladria, but that's because those arrows were launched when the Caladria was stationary and not actually moving.
Yeah.
Because it's a flying unit, it takes longer for the arrows to actually hit the Caladria.
It's a bit weird how that works out, but you know, that's the way the game mechanics were made, and so I guess we're just going to have to deal with it. So ArmyCore, ouch, he's losing his Terma hero, and it looks like ArmyCore might even lose this match. I mean, at this point in the game, he's got his villagers off food, he's got 5 idle citizens. He's going to end up losing these citizens, and he's going to call it a game. Making the match in the series 3-1.
ArmyCore not expecting that 4-minute rush. I think he was expecting a 4:30.
Definitely not. That's a very well done, very well done play by Avely there. Just being very aggressive all out, especially making those extra Prometheans versus ArmyCore going Oceanus. So that was game 4 from best out of 7. It is now 3-1. ArmyCore losing a massive 38 points here. That is huge. Okay, gentlemen, we're on to game number 5. All right. So usually I give the players here the option to break after the 3rd or 4th game, but it looks like they want to go ahead and finish up the series. So here we are, just getting it started here. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask. I'll be more than happy to answer, or I'll do my best to do so. Everything okay there, Lamas?
Yeah, sure, no problem. What's up?
Okay, your mic goes off every now and then without you putting any input, without any input from your microphone. Okay, so here at the top of the map, ladies and gentlemen, we have I am Avely playing Oranos in blue. At the bottom of the map, we have ArmyCore is ISIS? I thought Avely was supposed to be ISIS here. Okay, ArmyCore playing ISIS.
Interesting.
Here on Ghost Lake. So this is rather, very interesting. First time we've not seen an Orano smear. Of course, this is the 5th match in a best out of 7. Well done there by ArmyCore, blocking in that hunt there without losing any hit points on his villagers. Very smart. Looking here on Avely's side, he's picking up already a massive amount of sheep. I believe that's 5 sheep now, 7.
Yeah, definitely quite a few sheep.
ArmyCore already with hunting dogs.
Look at ArmyCore's gold mine though. Holy moly. This gold mine is so far forward.
Yeah.
It's really insane.
So
it's not guarded by anything either.
So you heard it first from Lorenzo, guys. That gold mine right there for ArmyCore is going to be atrocious to defend. I mean, how do you even defend that? Especially from an Oranos player. Oranos player is just going to absolutely just spam endless amount of Terma. How do you defend with that gold mine? It's just a 1 gold mine Ghost Lake. I mean, I've never seen anything like it personally. Forward mine, and it's only 1 mine versus Oranos in a matchup like this. It's just matchups you don't often see.
Yeah, it's really tough to deal with.
So
I don't know, like, do you go Anubis in this situation, because you need something
what?
to defend that gold mine.
As much as I dislike going Anubis, I think Anubis might be the only show to pull off here. Either Anubis or just a classical warfare, make an extra Sphinx, go Bast. You know, that's also viable. But I just don't think he's got food. I mean, how is he going to do a good prosperity? He does have another hunt, though, towards the right of his TC. So he might be able to pick up some food, perhaps go Bast, make a second Sphinx, make some Spearmen, and take a second town center or go Heroic. I'm not sure. Well, we do know is Avely's almost got 15 sheep. That is absolutely, I mean, I don't usually say this, but I don't think ArmyCore is going to get more than 5 sheep here. Usually on this kind of map, you would get at least 12. There's 24 sheep on this map. Or 20, I think it's 20. And I don't think ArmyCore is able to get 5 of them. That's really unhealthy for your economy, because right now he's just dependent. Okay, there it is, Anubis. ArmyCore is aging up with Anubis. He's got no other choice, so we're going to be seeing a lot of Anubis raiding, which we don't
Well, he
often
just
see.
made his first monument. I think he's just going in for the god power, which is what I would do as well. Also, he upped really quickly, which is also kind of forced, because what else are you gonna do with such a gold man?
Now, Lorenzo, I want to mention something. Take a look at his obelisk placement. What does this suggest to you? Say for example, not as an observer, but if you were playing Aranos, what does this suggest to you when you see obelisks placed all around your city like that?
Some early pressure, most likely.
You would probably think, this guy just wants to know what I'm doing. Every single move that I'm doing with my citizens, he's probably going to go Anubis. So how do you prepare for something like that?
You don't specifically prepare against it. You just do your basic 430 and hope that it's enough.
Now, perhaps maybe he'll build more defensively?
Perhaps. He's actually getting watchtower, so that's something he's doing differently already.
Oh, that's interesting. Watchtower, yeah. And he hasn't bothered building any cracks yet. Any termas?
Nope.
And termas are essential to win a matchup like this.
Yeah, also you need the Valor on the Thermos, obviously, to fend off the 3 myth units. The watchtower is firing at it, so it's not gonna be that bad, but still, like, you need to deal with that.
And this is no joke here. I mean, this is not a best out of 7 casual match. This is for 3rd place, and there is quite a bit of, quite a nice prize on the line here. I do suggest you guys check out the site, and if you want more details, they should all be there. But the prizes are quite nice. I mean, a lot of cash and a lot of goodies as well. So here in this matchup, so far, we haven't seen any aggression done by Avely. Building very defensively, researching watchtower. I mean, I think Avely is expecting too much. I think he's expecting like an all-out rush here by ArmyCore, but ArmyCore just does not have the food to do something like that. Clearly, ArmyCore went 2TC as soon as he's seen that watchtower upgrade, maybe?
I think so too.
I think that was a smart idea.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do once he gets the watchtower upgrade, so I think that was a pretty good idea. Also, by forcing the watchtower upgrade, you're delaying his units, so you can easily go for a second town center, as you see here. Like, there's no pressure on his town center, not even on his hunting, which is quite a bit out, and it's actually being seen by that oracle there on the cliff. And he's gonna do something about that right now, but still, he got a little bit of food there.
I'm having a hard time here. I mean, okay, ArmyCore's got his second TC, right? That's understandable. But he's got his second TC. Where is he going to get his gold? You see what I mean? If you take a look here, I think he would have been better off if he took the second TC at the bottom of the map. As hard as that is to, as hard it is to take an open town center against Aranos, I think that was his only option, if he was to go for a second TC at all, because really what's going to end up happening is he's going to finish that gold mine, and then what? You know what I mean? But
and then nothing, I guess.
It does have
Maybe
1,500 gold on it left, though, so it might last him another 5 minutes or so. But you gotta
maybe
keep.
he should have gone for the other town center.
But also, we gotta keep in mind that the Anybites cost food, right? And he's making slingers as well. They cost only 24 gold, so he does have a generous amount of food now that he's got that second town center, protecting these berries out here. And he does have some berries here. And of course, just finishing up that hunt there. And so Avely's just gotten that second TC now. for those of you just jumping in, this is 3-1 so far. This is the 5th match in the series of best of 7. ArmyCore versus Avely for 3rd place in the PK Tournament 4, which is about to conclude on Monday. The finals are being played between Ghost Lake and the Mista. Don't miss it. It's also best of 7. Happening tomorrow. And it's in and around, there's no confirmed time, but it should be around 16 GMT tomorrow, Monday. So definitely look out for that. Okay, so snakes being placed. Villagers going in, trying to pick off some termas there. I think that was a decent placement there by those snakes.
Yeah, it was bound to happen eventually.
It was a little bugged. I noticed that those snakes didn't move, but
No, I didn't say bug. I say bound to happen eventually, because with such a forward gold mine, you really need the gold power, especially if you do not have as many units and you only had a few slingers and priests.
but I did notice that though those snakes just kind of remained at a stalemate, not moving, giving Avely free way out of there. Nice wall there by ArmyCore, protecting his caribou. And I don't think Avely is being as aggressive as he should be.
I don't think he needs to be that aggressive actually. I think if he just grabs a second town center and now goes for a semi-fast mythic, that's going to be sufficient.
Well, you gotta understand this. I mean, I think Avely would have better off just went around this forest and harassed his villagers off caribou, because really, as ISIS, you're not supposed to be hunting this far out of your base unless Aranos is typically doing nothing. I mean, why are you making Terma if you're going to let your opponent hunt that far out of the map?
So Avely actually cut villagers in order to get to heroic, and now he started his villager production again. So it seems like he's, well, obviously he's at least going for a somewhat fast heroic, but I wonder if he's gonna go and try and go straight to mythic right after that.
I don't think he can go mythic.
I don't think so either.
There's no way. I mean, unless he's already used prosperity, he has to stay in H2. I don't even think he can go heroic, because he needs to protect the gold mine. And ArmyCore's villagers is getting picked off here. Okay, so there's heroic by Avely, but ArmyCore is going to remain in classical age. Avely just scouting ArmyCore going for that gold mine there. Avely should be sending these Terma down soon.
Building the monument to protect against any shockwaves, because his shockwaves is off cooldown right now, so he can use another shockwave if he so pleased to, but obviously not with the monument protecting it. I feel like he should have made that monument a little bit more towards the place of the obelisk right there, above the mining camp, so you can go out a little bit further. I feel like that would be more optimal, but still I think this will get a job done anyway. Once again, I'm not oh wait, I am actually seeing shaft mine. I was about to say I'm not seeing any shaft mine, which doesn't make any sense because he has plenty of food and wood, but he is now getting shaft mine, so that's great. He should also start rebuilding his barracks so he can supply his army without having to walk all the way from his base to the gold mine. It seems like he's gonna do that now as well.
All right, so this battle is looking it's pretty good for ArmyCore. I mean, he's able to defend this gold mine here for now, at least.
And ArmyCore upped Neftis. He's going to be in heroic fairly soon.
I'm not sure what to say about that heroic age by ArmyCore. Not sure what to say, because you know what's going to end up happening is he's going to go to heroic age and he's going to lose that gold mine.
Well, but maybe he can reclaim it with ancestors.
Well, ancestors alone I don't think is going to help him that much. I think that heroic age just might cause him the game. I mean, if he's not able to gather from this gold mine, what's his pharaoh doing? He's got an idle pharaoh there. He needs to cancel that heroic age. Okay, well, it's already 85% anyway, so but I mean, I just don't think it was smart. I mean, I'd rather have 50 slingers and I'd rather have 20 slingers and 10 spearmen than heroic age right now. It's not going to help. He's got hero Arcus, and he will back off for now, or he might. Those hero Arcus have a massive 500% damage for Smith units. There's a Scorpion Man now just aging up with him. That Pharaoh getting picked off by those hero Arcus. Is ArmyCore able to mine? This game is all about the gold mine here. If he's not able to get gold, it's over. It's done. That's why you see the fighting going on right here. ArmyCore calling it GG. I personally didn't like the gold mine for ArmyCore. I didn't like the gold mine, and I also didn't like the fact that he went heroic. I think he should have made a nice wall, 2 towers, 3 barracks, and upgrade the slingers. Oh, he has them upgraded. Get some spearmen out there as well. Spearmen, I'd say 10 spearmen, 10 slingers, 2-3 axemen, 5 priests as he had there, a couple antibites rating, and stayed in classical age a little bit longer. But calling it GG. Let's go out. That's 3-2 for ArmyCore so far. Avely just winning twice in a row. So that's 3-2. Oh, is that 3-2 or 4-2? No, that's 3-2. Sorry, that is 3-2. So this is a best out of 7. And of course, you all know, if ArmyCore manages to win this next match, it's all over. If Avely wins, he ties the series for 3-3.
I'm going to mute my mic for just a second. I'll be right back.
Okay, guys, so we're going to break here for 4 minutes. We will be right back. And of course, coming right up is game number 6. So don't miss it. Hello everyone, we are back, ready for game number 6, on our way here. So the match, the series right now, it is 3-2 for ArmyCore. ArmyCore winning the first 3 games in a row. And then Avely coming back winning 2 in a row. Thanks for waiting, everyone. Acting in a Rano smear here. Here we go. Rano smear. ArmyCore says, that's enough. I'm not going to mess around anymore. No more ISIS, no more this, no more Oceanus. I'm going to go Ranos, Prometheus, Terma Spam, and win my 4th game to finish the series. So here we go. At the right side of the map, we have ArmyCore playing Ranos in blue, on Marsh, and of course here on the left side, Avely is playing Ranos as well in red. So we've seen the gold mines here. Well, we've already seen Marsh. I think it was game. What was it? Game number
1.
Game number 1 was Marsh. Yeah.
The first one.
Now this map is looking pretty good for gold mines. Both players have their second gold mine rather close, while Avely got his second mine a little bit further away, but still rather close in his line of sight.
Avely has a lot of gold around his base, actually.
Yeah. He's got one there in the forward. And
one directly adjacent to his second town center.
oh, that's a very nice one too.
Maybe he even has one behind him, but I don't know. We'll have to see what this pig finds.
Avely's
It's just
also
Squirrel.
got a nice wood line here.
The Suscrofa, the scientific name for the pig. Very informative, obviously, the Age of Mythology Wikipedia, if you will.
Is it?
Yeah, it tells you the scientific name of a lot of animals. Not all of them are correct, though.
Which animal are we talking about?
I was talking about a pig, but I mean, in general, the scientific names of animals are displayed in the wiki.
And what's the pig scientific name?
It's the Suscrofa. I just said it.
Oh, Suscrofa.
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 Yep.
Okay, very good.
And its diet consists of omnivorous on roots, fruit, and seeds, but also small vertebrates and invertebrates.
And grass as well, I'm assuming, right?
It doesn't say so.
Okay, so we see here ArmyCore has his oracles here really forward. All 3 of them, matter of fact. I'm not sure if he's going to pull off that triple oracle hero as soon as he ages up here. It should be rather interesting. But if he does, it's going to be more of an aggressive tactic that we haven't seen so far here in this series. And here on the side for Avely, in this case, he does manage to pick off 1 oracle. Almost 1 hit point. He is now building his temple. And ArmyCore just managing to age up now. And looks like Avely is just going to make 1 extra villager.
I think Avely's going for a 5-minute and 5 advance. Yeah, as we can see. He's going for a little bit more of an economic approach. Well, if you think about it, it doesn't matter that much actually. How fast you up.
Now, speaking of the relics here on this map, of course, every marsh map has 4 relics. I'm assuming the 4th relic is in the shadows here behind those trees. But anyway, we got plus 40 food a second there. That's equal to a third of a citizen. We have villagers kill animals single shot. That can be very helpful. And of course we have the plus 5% hoplite, spearman, and marmillo hack attack. That can also be helpful, especially here in the Arano Smear, where both sides will be making marmillo. So I wouldn't be surprised if they started to pick up those relics as soon as they got to classical age here.
That sounded like a game you could purchase on like your iPhone or something. Marmillo hack attack. And I would imagine it would look something like a Space Invader game. Marmillo hack attack level 1. Both players going for the economic upgrades, not going for husbandry. And actually, Avely has a lot less pigs if you look at it.
That's true, yeah.
A lot fewer pigs, I should say, I think. That's grammatically correct.
Well, sure thing. ArmyCore got more lucky here in this map than he did in the previous match, where he's only gotten 4 or 5 goats, compared to Avely, where he got most of them. But here in this situation, it seems to be the opposite. And hey, you know, you get matches like that, right?
Yeah, it's true. It happens. I would rather have not seen it happen, but it happens.
But that's a conversation for another day.
It's also a conversation we've had many times already. And
That's
not only
true.
we, I've had that with pretty much everyone already.
So ArmyCore doing a lot of scouting here with those offspring. They are rather quick. He essentially deleted a Promethean to scout so quickly. Well, deleting a Promethean gives you 2 offspring. I understand some of the viewers here are some our newer Age of Mythology players here playing the extended edition. Of course, if you guys buy the game on Steam, you will have full access to online play for the new Age of Mythology edition. So definitely check that out. So Avely just looks like he's going straight to ArmyCore's base with those Therma, hoping to do some harassment or raiding here. Avely does have pickaxe and hand axe, and so does ArmyCore. And looking at the structure of ArmyCore's base, it's rather unique in comparison to Avely's base here. Avely's got his buildings spread out to protect his wood lines and his gold mine, whereas ArmyCore has just got them straight up built to protect his gold mine, but they're more closer together here. So a lot more space in Avely's situation here, allowing for more raiding, I think. Looks like
losing a hero. That's a bit sloppy. You shouldn't have lost that hero. Same here, actually. Losing another hero.
looks like Avely's getting trapped here. He should be a little more careful. Avely's
Seems like he wanted that relic, or maybe he just misclicked. Losing another hero.
ouch.
That's really so sloppy. He lost 3 heroes for 4 heroes.
4
for nothing.
heroes.
Oh, that's such bad news. Plus all of these pigs. If ArmyCore gets husbandry, and then just starts basically gathering from all these pigs, he will be able to put off the production of farms for quite a while. Whereas Avely has made 4 farms already, so that's 800 wood. That's a substantial amount, 800 wood for farms, which ArmyCore doesn't have to make anytime soon because he has the pig.
That's true. That's true. And not only that, you gather from farms substantially slower than hunt here in the classical age. Especially since Avely does not have a shovel or plow. So you're gathering from farms almost half as slow than hunt with hunting dogs. So Avely is really going to have be falling behind economically.
Avely does have a ton of Cairo Ballista compared to ArmyCore, who only has 4.
But also you got to keep in mind that with farms there's no walking distance from hunt to hunt.
Yeah, that's true.
But you're also still behind. I mean, you're spending a lot on those farms, so I'd definitely not be building those.
ArmyCore has idle villages now, for example, because he failed to shift click on the other hunt. He actually has them for quite a while.
Now I want to mention we've been seeing Avely here playing on the defensive, forced to be playing on the defensive, which is the result of building farms, of course. What do you think about the heavy Curio Ballista? Because I noticed Avely went heavy Curio Ballista rather early here.
I think Cairo Ballista are pretty nice. They are not that bad against Stoma, and they obviously are very good against Murmillos. They are pretty bad against Prometheans though. They are really bad against Prometheans. Oh man, these villagers, this just makes me cringe.
Which villagers?
Such idols at his manor. The 4 villages that we're hunting, they've been idle for such a long time really. He finally notices it. I don't know how you can go that long without noticing it. Like the idle villager thumbnail is really a pain. It's really a sore to my eye. I don't know how other people can just be so casual about it.
Okay, so keep in mind this is the 6th match in the best out of 7 series for 3rd place, and ArmyCore is already up almost 100 points. And Avely just attempting to gather from the second mine here, building that barracks in hopes to rather defend it a little better. Avely's in a little trouble here. He needs to get this gold mine, and I'm not sure how he's gonna be able to get it. ArmyCore is going to station his army in front of it, so we'll just have to see what happens. Do you think Avely will be able to get this gold mine?
I don't know actually.
He is on his way to heroic age though, so that should be rather interesting, since Avely is the first Aranosmere that we've seen tonight that Avely has gotten heroic age before ArmyCore. And usually it's the player who gets heroic age first ends up winning the game.
That's typically true, yes, because you get the Dryads, obviously, very strong.
The
You
Dryads,
also get
the birds.
Stepharia birds.
And also you want to remember those Dryads do not cost any population.
Yep.
So
Only gold. Only gold.
only gold, and you can only make 5 of them max. So they're really just additional 5 awesome myth units. Well, I wouldn't consider them awesome, but they're great units.
They're pretty good actually.
They do have a considerable amount of armor. There's no
as
doubt
well as
about
hit
that.
points and hack damage. They also have quite a bit of hack damage, like 15 hack damage. Find me that on like another myth unit. If you look at like an Anubite or a Sphinx, and you look at a Dryad, it's more or less the same. And Dryads can be made much more cheaply. because they only cost gold, and they don't cost many gold at that, like only 150 gold. What other myth units cost only 150 gold? Like, can you name anyone? And then there's the no favor cost, plus they train fairly quickly, plus they cost no population. It's just a really nice unit.
ArmyCore
killing off
just
two
getting heroic now.
Very nice.
Now that ArmyCore is in heroic, he's able to make some dryads of his own. But at this time, Avely clearly got his army stuck here. Not very smart. He's got no other choice. I mean, I wouldn't have put myself in this situation at all in the first place. I mean, why did Avely just walk into his base like that, knowing that ArmyCore is already on his way to heroic age, and essentially just walking yourself inside the base, and you got the counter barracks, you got the production facilities very nearby, and ArmyCore having a full pop army, just able to trap him in there. However, ArmyCore did lose a couple citizens, but then again, and Avely is ahead in score, if you think about it. But then again, I'd still put the advantage for ArmyCore here.
Avely has a substantial better economy than ArmyCore. That's what most of his score is actually about. Like, if you go to the post game, you can see that he's behind in military improvement and mythology, but he's ahead in economy. Yeah, he also has actually he has a much better KD than ArmyCore. Our kill death ratio, it's 50 and 68.
So it looks like we got a Dryad war going on here. We got a pack of Murmillos just coming in right in behind. We got an Arcus hero being made, just attempting to pick off some of those Dryads from ArmyCores. And we got a full spam done by Avely here. A full-on war, all-out war here. ArmyCore needs to get that TC. I don't think ArmyCore notices those two Arcus heroes, because they've been really just picking off all those Dryads so easily. 4 or 5 hits and those Dryads are gone.
Also, it's true that destroyers have an increased multiplier. Cairo Ballets have an increased multiplier against destroyers, right?
That's true. Matter of fact, the Cheerio Ballista have a 550% bonus versus destroyers. And this is, I don't think many people know about this.
Nope.
Because you would think Cheerio Ballista only have 150%, but that's versus infantry. Destroyers, 550%, so that's giving Cheerio Ballista almost...
an extra 400%.
Almost what? 20 attack? 22 attack?
Yeah, well, they fire additional projectiles.
So that's...
They fire 4 projectiles in total, which is funny because their image, like their splash art, shows that there are 5 arrows. That's obviously not correct. They fire up to 4 arrows.
So we have these 2 Arcus heroes. Keep in mind they have 500% bonus damage versus myth units. Those Arcus heroes should be really focusing down on these Dryads here. This is the battle of the century right here, because if ArmyCore takes it, he wins the series, but it doesn't look like he is. He is behind 200 points. He just needs to pick off these Dryads. I'm surprised Avely is not using his Arcus heroes on those Dryads. Avely just losing his whole army there and just repacking at this 3rd town center here.
Let's not forget that ArmyCore has the Thundercloud Shoal relic, which increases his pierce armor. However, Avely has researched the Copper Shields upgrade. Interestingly, ArmyCore got heavy Cairo Ballista. don't know if I agree with this forward Hesperides 3. I feel like it should be behind the fortress over here. This is unnecessarily risky.
Well, as we've seen earlier, Avely did have the lead on ArmyCore in terms of military. But right now, ArmyCore just pushing out those 4 Arcus heroes. I think they could have been a waste though, because those Arcus heroes were really too close to the army when they were made. And now they're just getting picked off by archers. But ArmyCore still taking the lead in terms of military count. He does have that Hesperides tree. It's in ArmyCore's favor right now. If that Dryad gets made, ouch.
Yeah, this is what I mean with why would you ever put this Hesperides 3 like this forward when you can put it here and it will largely serve the same purpose. There's just no reason except
Yeah.
for this to happen and what just happened
I
right now.
think it would have been a better bet if you placed that Hesperides tree behind, because at the same time you're protecting other buildings, you're protecting the area from Tartarian Gate.
Yep, true.
But
All
of
true.
course, Avely is already Mythic Age and placing the Tartarian Gate at ArmyCore's second TC. That's going to hurt.
Definitely.
And ArmyCore doesn't know what to do. He can't do anything. Avely does have destroyers here, so he's going to have to back out. Arcus just don't do good versus destroyers. Destroyers having 75% pierce armor. Oh, that's a nice relic. We didn't see that one. Take a look at ArmyCore's units there. Giving it 5% pierce armor for all his units.
I literally just said that like 3 minutes ago.
Oh, did you? I must have missed it.
Yeah.
Must
And
have
also
just.
pointing out that Avely researched copper shields. Right now he has bronze shields, but he had copper shields back then, so that would that kind of even out the advantage.
I might have been dazing,
No armory upgrades for ArmyCore actually.
focusing on the other relics there. ArmyCore calling it GG. Who would have seen
Yeah,
that
maybe
coming?
his name should have been ArmyCore, so then he could have gotten Armory as his core.
Yes.
Okay, you know what I've been noticing? Let me tell you something here. Now, we're on to the 7th match, right? It's all down to this. And we know what happens when it's down to the 7th match. These players get really, really frisky, right? Very intimidated by each other. It's the 7th match. This is the first time that ArmyCore has lost an Uranosmere to Avely, playing properly with Prometheus. And now ArmyCore is a bit on edge. We've seen what happened between him and Mista. ArmyCore and Mista. ArmyCore winning the first 2 games, and then losing 3 times in a row there. So, do you think the same thing could happen here?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think Avely could perhaps win this match?
I think he could win it. I do not think he is favored to win it. Like if I would assign percentages of how likely I think it is for Avely to win, I would maybe give him like 30%. But still, 30% is still substantial. Don't be deceived. Like that's still a very high chance to win. But obviously ArmyCore, I think ArmyCore is the better Oranos player. So if it ends up being Oranos against Oranos again, I think ArmyCore is gonna take it.
Who would have ever thought? I mean, going all the way to 7 games. Just taking a look at the comments here. So this is our 7th match in a best out of 7 series for 3rd place, ladies and gentlemen. That Tartarian Gate just taking out that second TC from ArmyCore's on that Marsh game that we saw. ArmyCore calling it GG. So that's an extra game for Avely, putting him at 3 games, 1. And here we go. At the bottom of the map, we have ArmyCore playing Oranos in blue. At the top on Savannah, we have Avely in red playing Oranos 4 in Oranos Mir.
Avely doesn't quite want to tackle that Rhino with only one villager. I think he's gonna wait for 2 villagers. Interestingly, he's not making an economic guild, so I think he's gonna go for a 4-minute advance. Without the economic guild, that is. ArmyCore not starting with any rhinoceros in his line of sight, so there's no decision for him to be made whether he wants to tackle a rhinoceros with 1 villager or not. You can actually do that, but it will leave your villager quite low.
I'm quite stunned here, actually. Both players did not build an economy guild, which is understandable from ArmyCore's side. But speaking of Avely, he does have 1 rhino here, and he's not even bothering to go for it. I mean...
Yeah, I actually thought he was going to wait for his 2nd villager and then attack it to save some hit points. Which, by the way, I think would have been a mistake to begin with. But, like, I could still understand that, but he's not doing it at all. Like, he doesn't even care.
I mean, there's quite a bit of hunt on Avely's side. Take a look at his deer on his 3rd TC. And, wow. You know what I just noticed? And you wouldn't believe it. I just noticed ArmyCore's 3rd TC. That is the worst 3rd TC I've ever seen on any map for any player.
Really? Is that so?
Look at ArmyCore's 3rd TC. Look how far that is.
That's the worst you have ever seen.
That's pretty much one of the worst TCs I've ever seen placement on Savannah. Easily one of the worst placements.
On Savannah, so not like on any map.
Well, Alfheim, I mean, if you're going to consider other maps such as Alfheim, you got a TC on the other side of the cliff on the buddy's side there. I mean, speaking on this map, I mean, this is
the blue crystal shot. Just got scored.
Without a single doubt, that's definitely a really bad TC for ArmyCore.
Yeah,
the worst I've seen.
A very bad town center for ArmyCore. But will it get to the point where each player will have 3 town centers? That's what I want to know.
Well, you know what? Just maybe Avely might take that 2nd town center in the middle there, because it does have 2 rhinos nearby, has some wood, it has a gold mine to its right. If Avely ends up taking that 2nd TC later in the game, it's really going to prevent ArmyCore from getting 3 TCs this game period. Unless
so
he's able...
Be a 4 minute.
Unless, of course, you mentioned that he's able to finish the game earlier. Which, of course...
If you think about it, have we seen 3 town center being built in an Oranos war this series? I don't think we have we?
I haven't seen an Oranos building a 3rd TC, but I've seen an ISIS building the 3rd TC.
Yeah, that's true.
But you never know, it might just come down to it. I mean, we're talking about later in the game. Of course, what matters right now is the gold mine placement. And knowing that both players are on their way to Classical, this is something to keep in mind. So, taking a look at gold mines, what do you think? I think they're rather forward for both players. I mean, both of them have a forward gold mine. ArmyCore has a better mine here in this case.
Yep, a little bit better.
But other than that, they both have forward mines for their 2nd. Avely just deleting the Promethean, getting that offspring out of there.
Attacking the counter barracks. Interesting. Unfinished buildings have a much lower hack armor, as well as a much lower crush armor and a much lower pierce armor. Actually, I don't know if they have a lower crush armor. Like, it can barely get any lower. It's at 5%. But I know they have almost no pierce armor and almost no hack armor.
Now, keep in mind, guys, it's not even 5 minutes in the game, and ArmyCore has already gotten 3 Oracle heroes and his Promethean out here, trying to take down this counter barracks, not giving Avely any room to think or to do anything.
So Avely used Velof on his Citizen and his 3 Thermi, whereas ArmyCore used it only on his Oracles.
Yeah, not the best idea by ArmyCore. I think he was hoping to take down that counter barracks, or perhaps even to harass his gold mine.
Yep.
But
the walls.
But you know, I think I know what he was thinking. He was thinking perhaps he could get through to harass his gold miners, but that temple was too closely placed to that gold mine there. But now that he has Terma out, he's able to do so. Avely's got his Terma back here, just walking them back because he knows that he needs this gold mine. Avely needs that gold mine, and if he loses his counter barracks, it's just going to open way for ArmyCore to come in.
Oh, a Shockwave used. Interesting.
Shockwave
He really
used.
wants to save that counter barracks, which is understandable, obviously.
Yeah, no, it's quite understandable. I mentioned, you know, if he does not save it, it's just going to open way for his gold mine.
Not only that, but those counter barracks are quite expensive, you know? They're not free.
It's 125 resources, yeah. And especially repairing it is costing him quite a bit of resources.
Yeah, because first of all, repairing costs resources. It's in itself. Plus, he's not mining. I think this is actually a mistake to repair it this much. He should probably just have sacked it. But then again, if he sacks it,
I'm not
then,
sure.
Then his gold mine is quite exposed.
You know what? I don't know what to tell you at this point. I think Avely was caught with his pants down. I mean, he's going to end up losing this counter barracks, and he's not going to be able to mine gold. It's going to be a good game around the spot. This is 7th game in, and you know, it's going to be too bad for Avely if it ends out like this. I mean, I don't think Avely was prepared. I think he was thinking, you know, perhaps just an everyday Orano smear and just walk into his side of the base. There's Shockwave. Counter barracks down. Avely not able to make any units from either the counter barracks or the temple. And now ArmyCore is just going to prevent him from mining. Avely is not able to do anything at this point.
He's desperately trying to get any gold, but I don't think.
No.
No, I think.
I mean, this is really unfortunate for Avely. He's going to call it a good game. Avely just wasn't thinking fast enough. Really, ArmyCore got him so quickly. He got those 3 Oracle heroes, put that counter barracks down to half health, or, you know, 3/4 down, quarter down at least, is what I meant to say. And essentially coming in with the rest of his army, a couple Prometheans. As soon as that counter barracks went down, he had open way to that gold mine. Avely not able to make any units because he was repairing that counter barracks, costing him gold and wood.
Town center disadvantage not coming into play whatsoever. However, the gold disadvantage is really the thing that killed Avely here.
The what, sorry?
The gold disadvantage is really the thing that killed Avely here, the forward gold mine.
Yeah,
He wouldn't
absolutely.
have died so quickly. Like, maybe he would have died later on, but he wouldn't have died so quickly if his gold was a little bit safer.
I agree 100%. I mean, it was all about the gold mine here. I mean, the TCs that we were talking about earlier is something that matters later in the game, if it does reach that late. All right, so we're going to come out. That was a 7-game series right there. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did. I mean, I really was thinking. I was really thinking that Avely was able to pull that one off, win 3rd place.
Yeah, that's really too bad. At least the games were pretty interesting. At least I thought they were interesting, despite Oranos was typically getting a bad rep.
I'm actually quite surprised in how well Avely played those games, and even to the fact of the matter that he managed to even win an Arano smear. I mean, a properly 1v1 Arano smear. That game that we saw there on Marsh. Hello, ArmyCore. Welcome to the stream here.
Hey, good to be here.
Yo,
All right,
what's up?
excellent. So, for everyone here, we got ArmyCore on the line, and I'm going to be asking him some questions. If you guys have questions for him, please ask. So, ArmyCore, what were you thinking before you started these matches here, before this series? Did you think you had these matches in the bag, or did you just want to think, I'm going to play Aranos, I'm going to pull off, the normal stuff that I usually do?
To be honest, I kind of slept in because I forgot about him, so
All right.
I kind of had to wing it.
So you just figured, hey, I'm just going to be playing Aranos. That's what I usually do, and
Yeah, I figured I'd just do what I do.
hopefully I'll be able to come up on top there. So, what happened in that Arano smear that you lost in the Marsh game?
I had really bad eco management that game. Like, I had like all of my bills on gold, then all of them on wood and none on food. I just couldn't get it together.
Now, overall, how do you think you played? Do you think you were like slacking off a little bit? How about that ISIS game, perhaps? Was it all about the gold mines there?
You know what? I actually thought I played pretty good on the ISIS game, but the gold mines were just, and the hunt and the wood, just kind of everything was terrible. But I actually thought I had a pretty decent shot at that one, but he defended my priest rush really, really well. So
Now, I had a question about making Prometheans in Aranos Wars. Now, wouldn't you normally, do you normally make Prometheans off the bat in Aranos Wars, or perhaps a
you know
little
what?
later?
I usually delay Promethean production. Like usually, what I'll do is I'll set up. Like the first 6-7 minutes of the game is usually about kind of raiding, picking up relics, scouting, and that sort of thing. And then you have to make a decision. Do you want to go full pop fight? If you want to go full pop fight, then at about 7 to 8 minutes, you set up another counter barracks, and you start pumping Caro Ballista and also Promethean.
Righto.
Yeah, so that's the best full pop fight strategy. And then you kind of play the game like a game of chess. So you kind of keep your army hovering over these gold mines, that sort of thing. That's what I was trying to do in the Marsh game. He actually advanced heroic before me, despite the fact that I had all the hunt. I don't know, just really bad eco management from me.
And what I've been noticing is usually the first one to heroic ends up having the advantage and winning the game, is the correlation that I've been seeing in this series.
Yeah, it's definitely key because you get those free population, the dryads, and birds are actually really, really good too. They're hard to kill because you can snipe all the archer hero with the Terma. So birds are basically invincible.
Right. Okay, great. So I appreciate you answering my questions. Now, Lorenzo, did you have any questions for ArmyCore?
No, I do not have any questions actually. It was all pretty clear to me.
And now, ArmyCore, do you have any...
Wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do have one question. This is actually a question that was asked in my chat, but I guess I'm wondering the same thing. Are you and the Mista going to play again outside of a tournament setting?
I've asked him a couple of times to play. He doesn't seem to want to, though.
All right.
But yeah, I wanted to play on the Monday after the tournament because I thought the tournament I played really bad. But he hasn't played me all week, so I don't know.
Okay.
So if Mista is listening right now, let's play right now.
He's calling you out.
I call him out every day. He doesn't
Maybe
want
you
to
need
play.
to talk. Maybe you need to talk some shit to motivate him to come and kick your ass, maybe, so we can have a nice stream here.
All right,
We can
guys,
stream
so-
this game.
I just want to conclude this. So, ArmyCore, do you have any comments for your opponent, Avely?
He played pretty good. Good games. That's revenge for 2 years ago.
All right, perfect. Okay, well, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you
Yep.
enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Finals tomorrow, 16 GMT. We have the Mista versus Ghost Lake, best out of 7. Don't miss it.